Welcome back to part 2 of the Comvolt 6000 series. In this episode, we're going to show you how to hook up your DC PDU, your AC PDU, and your battery monitor screen to the Comvolt 6000. We're actually going to hook up one appliance to the DC PDU just to show you exactly how it works, how it's installed, and it's the same procedure with the AC PDU. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm Ricky, and this is the Smalls RV Adventures. In this video, I want to show you how easy it is to hook up these DC PDU and AC PDU with the battery monitor screen. Look at the minimum amount of items that we have here to hook up. Now let's compare it to our off-grid system that we previously had. This is our current system in one of our bays. Look at this wiry mess. I mean, it's neat. The orange cord is just the extension cord, but this took nearly a day to put together with the wiring and the crimping, but with the Comvolt system, totally different. Now let's compare the amount of wires that you just saw to this minimum amount of wires. Let's get started with this installation, showing you how to hook up your DC PDU. When your Comvolt 6000 system arrives to you, make sure the first thing or one of the first things you do is charge up your system. When we got ours, it was at 20%. We want it to be at 100 or to the highest capacity that's comfortable, that you're comfortable with, so that when you get your system started, you can test out everything to make sure everything is working appropriately. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab onto my DC PDU. Here you see the Anderson connection. You're going to take one end of your Anderson connection and you're going to power it in. It's that simple. And remember, these only can go in one way. So when you first try it, you want to look to see which side is the positive, negative. If you can see it, if you can't see it, remember, if you try to push it in one way, it's not going to go. You just push it in the other way that's feasible to go. Snug connection, you'll hear that little snap in, and that's it. Your DC PDU is connected. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to connect this Anderson connection to the back of the Comvolt 6000. Now remember, when you connect it, you're going to hear the little snap that you know it's going to be connected, and it only can go in one way. This is how it's going to look when it's connected. Remember, if you have to pick up your Comvolt or put it at the edge or something to get this wire in, you're going to be able to get it in. It goes in. It's a little tight from the way that they have it fitted here, but you just pull this to an edge or something, or you can tilt the Comvolt and stick this wire in. Now you can see the COM port. All you're going to do is take one of your communication wires. It's going to go right into the COM port, and you take your Comvolt Magic battery monitor, and you're going to stick it in one of the outlets there. Remember, you have your Anderson circuit breaker on the back, so you're going to have to flip that on. When it comes, it's going to be in the off position. All right, since we have one of the wires hooked up to the Y&T can, you're going to look at the back of your battery management, your battery manager, and you're going to see the same sign, Y&T can. You're going to hook that up to that. Now, that's it for the DC PDU. Now let's hook up the AC PDU. To hook up the AC PDU, you're going to take another one of the communication wires. You're going to put it into the Y&T bus that you're going to see right in the back. And then you're going to take the other part of the COM wire, and you're going to look for the same thing, Y&T bus. You're going to plug that right into there. So now you have both the AC PDU and the DC PDU hooked up. Now you have to hook everything up to the system. And the back of your battery management, the display, you're going to see another power insert. That's where you're going to put your last cable, where it says power. You're going to plug that in. Now that's all that you have to do with this battery monitor. You're going to take the other wire and you're going to plug it into the COM port of the Comvolt. So the Comvolt is gonna have like these little plugs that are inside this COM port. You just take out the plug and you're gonna insert your COM wire. And that's it. Everything is hooked up. Your DC PDU, your AC PDU, and your battery manager, your battery monitor screen. Now with very little troubleshooting, we have everything hooked up. Now I want to show you how you hook up a DC appliance like this 12-volt refrigerator to your Comvolt system. It's very easy. It's very much similar to your 12-volt fuse box. Very much easier than hooking it up to the 12-volt fuse box, and let's show you how to do it. Now, this is your DC PDU. I know it's a lot of wires around here. It's only 3 wires and then the Anderson connection. But your fridge is going to come with 2 wires where you're going to have to split the wires. One of them is going to have writing on it. That's usually your positive wire. The other wire is not going to have any writing. That's your negative wire. You're going to have to troubleshoot your own system when it comes, your own fridge. But in the fridges, in my experience, when I did this, the wire that had the writing on it is the positive wire, and the one that had no writing was the negative wire. So you want to make sure your fuse box is off. Each of these panels, these circuit breakers are off. We're going to go into a 10 amp circuit, and we're going to start off by putting the positive wire in. And then once you have the positive wire in, you can snap it closed. And then we're going to put in the negative wire. And then you close the negative wire. Once you have it in, you close it. Now you can turn on the breaker. The breaker is going to be on the off position. You just switch it on and you should hear your fridge turn on. This is a closer look at the breaker for the DC PDU. Again, you're going to see the positive and you're going to see the negative. I'm using the 10 amp breaker, and you're going to stick the positive in the positive and the negative in the negative. You switch these back down and you activate the breaker. You can't see the fridge is not blinking like it is on the camera, but here's the fridge that's on. You can hear the buttons when I press them. The fridge is now activated. Now, as you can see, this is the magic screen, the battery monitor. So you can see with the solar connection, what the solar would be if you had a connection there. You can see your inverter, the volts. If you have a second inverter, how many volts is coming out. You can see that the battery is at 100% and it's at 13.7 volts. You do see that there's a negative 1.7 amps. That's the discharge when nothing else is on. And then you have the option here. I believe this is going to come in an update that you can have your clean water, gray water, black water, and hot water levels. You have additional COM ports that is available on the back of this magic screen, the battery monitor, and you also have an additional port in the back of your Comvolt 6000. So I believe in future updates, you're going to be able to activate those. But now, this is what the screen looks like. Connecting your AC PDU to the Comvolt is nearly the same process. You have everything hooked up already. We just have to plug in the wire and connect it to the AC PDU, the 120 volt wire or your 30 amp wire. For this exercise, we're going to be using the 120 volt wire, the 15 amps. To connect your AC PDU, you're going to have a port that's going to be right on the side. You're going to take the wire, you're going to line it up. It's very easy to do. You can see the grooves, one groove here, one groove on there. You just line up the groove, you stick it in, you're going to hear the click. That's it, installed, the wire installed on the AC PDU. And you're going to take the other end and you're going to plug it in to the front of your 15 amp insert inside of the Comvolt 6000, and that's it. Your AC PDU is hooked up. That's your AC PDU. Now, connecting appliances and devices to your AC PDU is where a lot of people have some confusion. This is going to work just like your RV plug sockets work, just like the sockets work in your home, where you have the GFCI outlets that when you plug it in, if it's like a surge or water gets on it or something, it's going to break the circuit. It's gonna make the everything cut off. The break is going to cut off. The same thing happens when you install an appliance on your AC PDU. You're going to have a certain amount of amps that you can use. So when you're plugging in into the 120 volt using the AC plug, you have a 15 amp max. So anything that you use that's going to go over that 15 amp max is going to cause the circuit to break. So you're just going to have to reset the circuit through the Comvolt 6000 or through the breaker on the AC PDU. It's that simple. It's the same process if you're in your RV and you plug in, you have the air conditioner on 30 amps, you have the air conditioner on and a microwave on. Everything is going to cut off, because you're trying to pull too much power than the RV can handle, that the RV is designed to handle. It's the same thing with the Comvolt system. If you try to pull too much energy that the Comvolt can't handle through that one circuit, that one breaker, it's going to shut off and you're going to have to reset the breaker. So when you wire your AC PDU, just remember how much power you're going to have when you plugging something in, an appliance. When I use the AC PDU, I just extend plug sockets throughout my build using the AC PDU. I don't just use one appliance like a blender and hook it up straight to the AC PDU. You can do that for demonstration purposes. You just have to cut the wire and stick the wire inside the neutral, the power leg, and the ground, and it works just as the DC PDU works. To give you a closer look at this AC PDU and how to hook up an appliance, you have your power leg, you have your ground, and you have your neutral. Now, when you open up, let's say you have an outlet that looks like this. This is going to have 3 wires inside because you have your power, you have your neutral, and you have your ground. So 3 wires are going to be inside when you cut this. And you can actually see in the grooves that it's 3 wires. So you would just cut this off and you will connect color coded. Look at your color codes when you're going to hook something up. I don't want to say because I want you guys to look up the color codes, and you're going to put in your positive leg, your ground, and your neutral with the 3 wires that are inside of here. And you're going to remember the circuit is going to be off. You're going to lift these up. Remember, it's going to be 3 for each one of these breakers. You're going to stick the wires in each respective hole. Then you're going to close it. You're going to cut the breaker on. Remember, it's on the off position, so you switch it to the on position. And once it's on the on position, this is now going to be an active plug socket. And remember, if you do it wrong and you plug something in, it's not going to cut on. So you just have to go back, cut the power off, and try again. Remember, the wire, the copper inside of these wires have to be exposed for it to go inside, and then you lock them in. This is a closer look at everything hooked up. You have your AC PDU, your DC PDU, and your magic screen battery monitor, everything hooked up. And we have the 12-volt refrigerator powered on just for showing you how to work the DC PDU. All right, this was just to show you guys how to hook up your DC PDU and your AC PDU along with the battery monitor, the magic screen. Everything hooks up just like this as you go to install it in your build, or if you're going to use it in your RV. Stay tuned for the series because the next video I'm going to show you how to hook up your alternator charger inside of your rig so that when you're driving, your vehicle is on, you will have power going into your Comvolt, so you'll always be topped off wherever you're going. I may also throw in the solar video, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. I'm Ricky from the Smalls RV Adventures.